Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, complete picture of how they speak to you. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So if you haven't got your seat yet, don't forget the Intuition Activation webinar is on the 20th of March. You can get yours on the link in the description box below, and if you can't be there on the day, there will be a recording for you to watch and go through, and you can also bag a couple of goodies. So your key to the week this week, Pisces, is the Death card. Completions, culminations and endings. This is it. This is where something comes to a close. Now, if I'm completely honest with you, the message that I get from this, because in my mind, I can see like literally clouds being pushed away. So, right, whatever challenges you've been going through, whatever issues have come up for you, this is going to be the dispelling of the darkness, let's say. You know, it sounds very dramatic, but hey, that's me in general. This week, though, this is going to see you making a decision to dedicate yourself to releasing or letting go of old patterns, old cycles, and especially old fears. I think this is going to see you getting really honest about what it is that you actually want. And more importantly, it's going to see you really kind of getting honest about what is actually standing in your way and where it is the fears are coming in. So for your actions and options this week, you have the 8 of Pentacles. So something to do with your work this week, you're going to be very focused on. And for a lot of you, maybe this is you deciding that the current job is no longer viable. So maybe this is where you start to look for new work. Maybe this is where you start to look further afield. And for a lot of you, maybe this is where you are saying, actually, you know what, I am worth more than I'm getting in the current position that I'm in, which is really potent. I really like this for you guys because it looks like you're taking something, it's almost like you're taking your power back this week. When it comes to work, when it comes to the profession in general, this is what you are focused on. And it's like, no, you know what, this experience that I'm having now no longer works for me. For your communications and conversations, you have the 4 of Swords. Right, so although you are making this decision this week, you are being very quiet about it. Remember, the 4 of Swords is about rest, patience. It's about standing back before you move ahead with something. And the fact that you've got this underneath the 4 of Swords, this is kind of, you know, for a lot of you, it's kind of you saying, actually, you know what, I will bide my time. So this is you making your plans. It's you working, I don't want to say in secret, but this is definitely you working behind the scenes on whatever it is that you feel like is your exit strategy. And I think that's going to be really important for you guys going forward. For those of you that work for somebody else, yeah, I mean, this week it looks like you're taking a bit of a back seat. Maybe you are not going to be the first person to answer. Maybe you're not going to be the first person to always put your hand up and say, oh, well, you know, if nobody else will do it, I'll do it. Where you have become relied upon too much, this week it's like you're pulling yourself out. And I kind of feel like you're just going to say, actually, no, you know what? Somebody else can pick up the slack this time. You know, it's always me. This time I'm not doing it. When it comes to your those of you that are business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, this is, again, similar energy, but it's more a case of this week you are taking your time to think about what the most viable options, paths and plans actually are. This is going to see you being really honest with these things and doing whatever you can as well, really, to make life easier for yourself. Because remember, this card can represent rest. And I kind of feel like this is you saying, you know what, I know I work a lot and I know I love what I do, but this is also a time for me to maybe take my foot off the pedal. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, this is you really rededicating yourself to enjoying the time that you have. I kind of feel like for a while, maybe you were beating yourself up or berating yourself for not working or maybe not doing as much as you could. And this week, I think you're getting back to that energy of enjoyment of the time that you actually have. For your money and materials, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So there's a ways to go with whatever your financial plans are, with whatever the things are that you're trying to get off the ground. There is, what's the word? It's kind of like you've just got a way to go yet. You're not quite finished. You're not quite there where you would like to be on the financial scale. It's taking longer than maybe you had planned for, maybe longer than you would like, but there is still progress being made, all right? When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your tummy, your digestive system, all of that kind of general area. This would be a really good week to check in with your diet. It would be a really good week for you to think about maybe eliminating foods that you know are not necessarily good for you. When it comes to your home and environment, I think this is a lot of you gearing up to make those plans. Like I said, Pisces is one of the signs that I've had consistent messages about leaving the place that you're in. So this is really interesting. For your love and relations, you have the Nine of Pentacles, right? So look at this. This is the 7, 8, and the 9. They're not in sequence, but they are here. For those of you that are single, this is a week where you're treasuring and cherishing yourself above all else. Coupled with the Four of Swords, this is you giving yourself a break. It's almost like you're saying, you know what, life can wait. Everything else can wait. I am stopping. I am going to take a break. I'm going to take a breather, and I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to do what makes me feel good. When you do that, you heighten your own energy, and you really do then start to open the door for someone that is going to come in and treat you in that same way, right? It doesn't work the other way around. You've got to love yourself enough and treat yourself good enough for somebody else to come in and do that for you as well. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships already, this, for a lot of you, this is either you guys planning to take a break together, or maybe for some of you, this could be you planning to take some time away so that you can get started or get cracking with one of your plans. You know, maybe it's one of those things like if you're trying to write a book and you've got a house full of kids and, you know, your partner, and it's loud and, you know, it's not conducive. This is you seeking some sort of quiet, beautiful sanctuary or retreat so that you can do what needs to be done with a personal project. You know, and in a lot of ways, I actually feel like this is only going to serve to enhance the relationship rather than create problems or challenges with it. So, you know, find a way to give yourself over to that this week. There are a lot of culminations coming up for you this week, though, because you have that Death card kind of influencing everything, which suggests to me that in a lot of ways, whatever have been viable options up to this point are no longer viable options going forward. So an interesting message all in all. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. It's interesting that you have all of these earth cards come up here as well, because I kind of feel like this is going to give you the steady grounding influence that Pisces can sometimes require. You know, it's giving you that from the external world. All right, take care and I'll see you soon.